All right, guys. Hello and welcome back to the next episode of our Konnersport MyTeam career mode. Week number 9, I believe it is. I believe it's under... is it under team owner? Yeah, it's under team owner. Results. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, race number 9 in Spain. We're a third of the way through the season. Calimare's leading against Oscar Piastri, 80 points to 68. Jaden Jackson's not too far behind. And we have, well, it's only showing 3 trophies here, but we have 4 trophies because both of our drivers got on the podium in China for the feature race as we are going into Spain. I just want to go back out to this main menu, do everything in order, starting with the department event for personal facility. No driver talks as of yet. I think we'll have some by the time we hit the next episode. Planning retreat. Lose resource points. Let's decline that. $822,000. Fan rating of 3. Activities. We have 2 activities we can do: podium celebration and fountain outreach. I don't believe we can do any more. And I believe autofill is this. Yep, same thing. So activity is filled out. We got some messages from our result: lost rivalry against Mercedes. That's a fortunate boost in fan recognition. Title sponsor loyalty grows. Interesting weekend. One of our drivers achieved a podium. Highlights car's performance. Entire team's effort, dedication have paid off. Boosting our standings and reputation. We'll continue to analyze and improve support both drivers and achieving even greater success. Let's build on the momentum and aim for more podiums in the future. Congratulations to everyone involved. Owner training, we get another point. Yay. I'm gonna go towards engineering, I believe is what we want. Corporate facility income, maybe. We are struggling on money right now. These are 2-day training, 3-day trainings. Impacts to morale. Engineering are more beneficial when fan sentiment is positive. 20 resource points for each time development fails. Research project encounters a delay. Let's go development fails because we are in the first season. So let's go with that one. And then add that on. It is a 3-day. What is that, a owner training thing? Is it under personnel? Because it's a 3-day thing, right? 3-day. Focus. Engineering focus, development and analysis. Training activity. You schedule complete the relevant training activity to unlock its benefits. So I believe it's... I don't know. Go to activities. Owner training, development, analysis. Okay, we have to wait till after this race weekend to put that on. So we'll do that on the next episode. And that is good. Research. Let's check the updates here. It wants us to do the rear floor underlay. Chassis in progress. Minor weight redistribution for the engine cover. Still tailing Mercedes on that. 2 aero parts. We have 800,000 right now. We have 2 chassis parts in development. 1 powertrain and 1 durability. So aero. Let's see which one will help more. The Halo will help more. That'll be after Canada for Austria. I'm gonna go ahead and risk it because we're really lacking on these guys. I need 310,000 for that, damn it. I'm about 50k short for that. So yeah, we are struggling on the money part, which is unfortunate. As performance-wise, rivalries, we failed against Mercedes. Team stat: 4 podium finishes, 1 fastest lap, 15 top 10 finishes, 16 race finishes, 1 pole position, 9 top 10 qualifying. So we're doing pretty good there. Component management, that is at 70 for the energy store for Mayor. Kinetic unit. We'll drop old parts for Mayor because we'll be Jackson today. And we'll take an engine failure if we need to. So we don't. It'd be really funny if we retire both cars, but we're gonna try not to do that on this episode. Driver talks are coming up for Sonoda, and then Antonelli. We probably won't hit his driver talks until contract window opens. They're both in the talks. I'm not going to show you guys our current drivers' information because it'll be spoilers for the next season. And I don't believe we have any money for improvements here. Yeah, we're just spending money on parts, which is kind of unfortunate, but we'll have to deal with it. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we get that part to come in.
Hey, Chief. We have a part or two ready for development because they finished research. Let's get that in motion, shall we? Head to engineering for more info.
I doubt we'll have the money for it. More chassis parts. We haven't. We have a part. Yeah, we don't have the money for this, guys. 9 upgrades. No upgrades. The one part went away. I don't know why.
Does seem like our rivals got the better of us out there. Let's use this as motivation for next time.
Yes, I know. Regular weekend here in Spain. We'll be driving as Aiden Jackson, and we'll see you guys for the race.
Welcome along, everyone, to sunny Spain, specifically to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. So many great moments in Formula One history have been written at this very track over the years, including Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari back in '96. That win was in the rain. We might have better weather here today, but we're just as overjoyed to be at the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and the popular opinion in the paddock is that we never wanted the chicane in the first place. That's now been gone, the final corner is much faster, and at 2.9 miles and 14 turns, we await the Spanish Grand Prix. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Mayer, Aiden Jackson, and Hulkenberg. Norris, Fernando Alonso, Antonelli, and Ollie Behrman. Sonoda, Russell, Pierre Gasly, and Leclerc. Stroll, Sainz, Alex Albon, and Jack Doohan. Hadjar, Bortoletto, Ocon, and Liam Lawson rounds off the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And joining me in the commentary box once again, Naomi Schiff. Hi, Gnomes. Now, Ant, you always tell me you know Barcelona almost as well as you know the back of your hand. Given the amount of testing that goes on here and the amount of laps that you and all the other drivers have done, What are the challenges that are left when it comes to the race?
Well, this certainly is a favorite track when it comes to testing. And I'll tell you why that is. It's because it offers up so much variation. You've got corners that are fast, that are slow, that are long, that are short. So there's a lot to think about and a lot to work with. But T9 is one of my personal favorites because it is so challenging. Every time you get there, you think, should I lift or should I stay flat? Well, I tell you, stay flat. Commit.
Here we go then, the formation lap is underway and the track temperature looks warm. And that may or may not play into some of the team's hands in today's race. We're almost ready to start the race as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
All right, here we are, the possible race strategies there as both Konnersport drivers starting pretty good up front. P4 and P5 for Callie Mayer and Aiden Jackson. We're driving as Aiden Jackson this race. It's a little bit of a freeze frame here. I don't know why it was like that, but we're just going to let it go. It's the same with the last car pulling up to the grid. 5 red lights are on. Starting as Jackson here in P5. A long start, getting a good launch ahead of Mayer, splitting between Piastri and Hamilton. Verstappen moves to the right to cover us off, and that means Hamilton's going to be moving on the left side. You saw him in the mirror there as he takes a position. A little bit of contact there. We don't get a warning. It was just tire to tire, so we didn't have to worry about anything there. We are on the inside, and we make a mistake here a little bit, trying to get behind the toe of Hamilton. Norris is still close to us. He's losing a little bit of ground here on the corners. He does make that move there on the inside. That's where we made the mistake. As it's McLaren versus Konnersport pretty much right now. Alonso P7, Hulkenberg P8. We're side by side with Norris, having the outside, a little bit more contact there. No warnings as of yet. It's just tire to tire combat here as we get a warning there for the little slip coming out of the corner onto the straight. As we're starting to go through the grid here. Snow to P11, fighting Behrman for P10. Leclerc starting P15 after, I believe he got out in Q1. Bortoletto, Albon, Lawson, Hadjar. You can see the new livery on the Sauber. The glitched livery will be running for the remainder of the season for Sauber. So we're coming up to the front of the grid yet again. Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris, our top 3. As Piastri makes a move on Jackson. Back and forth, side by side, as we're on board with Mayer now. Watching this battle, you can see us playing as Jackson having a long right-hander, having a lot of trouble on that right-hander with this setup, even though we have it pretty much set up for cornering. As we're moving on, we did lower the volume for the F1 transition, so it won't be as much of an annoyance as we are on board with Piastri and Jackson as they're fighting for P4 yet again here on lap 3. Jackson still holding on. Norris trying to pull away, 1.5 seconds behind Hamilton now. Verstappen on lap 3 is 3.1 seconds ahead, so we're still feeling the we're still dealing with the straight line speed and just the AI performance overall, just increasing that gap. We're looking into a couple mods and seeing which one we want to use for next season for competitiveness. So moving on to lap 5 now. Jackson defending against Piastri. Piastri making an easy move on the inside now. Nothing we can really do there as Callie Mayer is still right there in the fight. You can see her in the mirror on the right side. Just barely. As you can see, Piastri's already starting to pull away. Both McLarens ahead of both Konnersports at this point. And both Red Bulls in the top 10 as well. We have an Aston Martin, Antonelli, Hulkenberg, and Tsunoda for the rest of our top 10. see Stroll and Russell fighting there in the back before the transition as we're on the lap 8 now. Jackson looking to make a move on Norris, dumping the battery, making a move on the outside of turn 1, forcing him to the inside, making a move on the outside as Alonso's trying to close in on Callie Mayer. And we're hoping that we can keep Norris held back enough to have Mayer make a move as well, but just the gap is pretty even. As we take a look now at the gap between Hamilton and Verstappen. Verstappen is almost 9 seconds ahead at that rate. Lap 9, we're on board with Jackson, who's about a second away from Hamilton, trying to close in as much as possible before we get to the end of the life on these medium tires. Going through the grid, Callie Mayer trying to make a move on Norris. Trying to see who comes into the pits in the background. We saw him in the background, and we actually get a look at the livery, the glitched out livery. I'm not sure who made the livery off the top of my head. It will be in the description, and it looks really good. Not really any other liveries for Sauber with the green, but it was a slow stop on the back right for Hülkenberg. That's going to be a pain for him for the remainder of his race. Because I believe Leclerc maybe went in as well. He's up there in P21 as we go through the grid yet again. Verstappen 10 seconds now, gaining practically a second a lap on Piastri, who's in P2. Hamilton's P3, Jackson and Mayer are P4, P5 with Norris behind. Alonso P7, Antonelli P8, Tsunoda, the other Red Bull, doing a lot better than we've seen in the last few episodes. And then George Russell, so both Mercedes, both Red Bull, both McLaren, both Konnersport, and then alone Aston Martin and alone Ferrari. That's what it was. Because Leclerc's in the back of the field, is losing track of who's in the top 10 or not. Lap 15 now. Jackson ahead of Norris. Norris made a move on Mayer in the previous lap. Antonelli and Russell P7, P8. So there's been some moves there later down the field as we're trying to take care of these tires, and we're going to be coming into our pit stop. And as we hit the brakes, you see the front left there puncture. I had to make a little bit of quick movement there before the AI took over for the pit assist. I did not want to smash into the wall on that punctured tire. A little bit of graphical issue there. I know I updated the drivers. What if it's a video setting that I can change? Please let me know in the comments. Making a move. Not really. Tsunoda, Alonso making a move on us on the outside. Norris still behind in the pits. So no issue there, as we're about halfway. Just about halfway through the race already. Verstappen 16 seconds, gaining a second a lap practically. As we're currently P8, you can see other people farther back down the grid going through their pit stops. And by the end of lap 16, it's now Callie Mayer's turn, trying to make a move. No tire puncture for her, as I believe Hamilton made a move as well. I believe that is Hamilton or Piastri. I'm not quite sure. We'll see here in a moment as Antonelli followed Mayer in. That is Piastri. That is Piastri coming out of the pits, so I believe Hamilton... no, Hamilton is in as well. Alright, Piastri, Hamilton, Mayer, leaving Tsunoda to pass Alonso, fighting, and Verstappen up ahead. 13.9 is the gap on lap 17 from Alonso and Tsunoda, seeming that they are doing a two-stop. As Gasly and Russell trade positions on board with Callie Mayer. That fight's going to be like that for a while. As we're moving on to lap 17, Leclerc is trying to close in on Lawson after making a pit stop. So I was wrong. Leclerc was just running pretty roughly during the race. I believe he had an incident on the first lap that made him fall back. But he's trying to close in on Leclerc as we're moving around this long right-hander. And you guys know the issue that we've been having as we're trying to close in on Hamilton. You can see here, the first and only retirement of this race. Leclerc has an engine failure in Sector 1. It's not going to be enough for a safety car. as we're seeing Verstappen ahead of Alonso. 14.1 is the gap, but Alonso and Tsunoda have yet to go into their second pit stop. See, they're both on soft tires. Piastri on hards, Hamilton on hards, and Jackson behind, looking to try to make a move. DRS open as we're going through the grid. Norris 2.5, Mayer 2.2. Antonelli trying to chase down Mayer while being overtaken by Hulkenberg here on lap 18. Making a move on the outside. Hulkenberg makes the move. He's going to have to give way. Antonelli's going to have to give way here, as Gasly and Russell are making moves on each other in the background. Behrman and Bortoletto on the timing table as well. Gasly, P11 here, leading Russell and Sainz. You just see how the timetable is, as Alonso's starting to lose ground to Verstappen on those tires, those soft tires. And you can see a lot of people in the back of the field also in soft and medium tires for 2 stops. So not very many people running 1 stops. Well, it seems like Piastri, Hamilton, Jackson, Norris, Mayer, a handful of people in the top 10 who started in the top 10 are running 1 stops, and Verstappen is just flying away, almost back up to 16 seconds before Alonso and Tsunoda even go into the pits, as we may have an opportunity to catch up to Hamilton or possibly pass on this lap with DRS, making sure to stay in bounds on that final corner. We're up to 2 or 3 warnings at this point of the race. 5 laps later, Jackson within 0.6 of Hamilton, looking to make a move. 3.8 is the gap between Piastri and Hamilton, trying to force Hamilton to the inside. As we make an easy overtake, Hamilton has to give way. Norris 3.4 behind P4, which is now Hamilton. Callie Mayer is about the same distance from Norris that Norris is in. Norris is Hamilton, and that race is basically going to be staying in that order as we're starting the final lap on board with Jackson. Haven't really used this screen, and the stuttering, I will have to figure out what's going on, maybe re-optimize my game. We're going through the field. There's Hamilton there leading the McLaren of Lando Norris, who is ahead of Alonso. Alonso on a newer set of medium tires, so they made their second stop. Alonso making a move ahead of Callie Mayer, and I believe that is Tsunoda behind. Not quite sure if Mayer's in 6th or 7th at this point, but Alonso made the move. We're on board with Callie Mayer to see if she can make a move on Alonso for more points before the end of the race, as they're coming through Sector 2. Don't know if she has DRS. She may have DRS here. Making a move here in these final few corners, and does not look like she's going to be able to make a move here. See the Ferrari up ahead of Hamilton. So that's Hamilton, or no, that's Lando Norris. So Hamilton P4, Norris P5, Alonso P6, Callie Mayer P7 to round out the end of this race, as we get Jackson on the podium in P3, coming around the final corner for Callie Mayer, and that is the race.
It's another victory and a champion's performance from Max Verstappen.
And they led every single lap of the race. It was a lights to flag victory, and that is total dominance.
We had drama from start to finish, but in the end, there was only ever one that could take that top spot. And for those that have missed the Dutch national anthem, fear not. It's back again, because Max Verstappen is back on the top step. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
All right, that was quite a race here in Spain for Aiden Jackson and Callie Mayer. Callie Mayer dropping a few positions on the one stop. Let's see, top 5, 6, 7, 8 people did a one stop. Everybody else did a two stop. And then P14 to the end all got lapped, doing a two stop. And then Charles Leclerc retired, having the earlier incident in the race. I was a little shocked because we were running the medium tires pretty rough. I think it was like 75-80%, but as soon as we ducked into the pits, we had a puncture there on the left front, which I've tried my best to mitigate that issue with the tire pressures, but with max tire pressures, you can't do much around certain tracks. I know a couple episodes ago we had issues with another track. I believe it was Miami with the left front tire. But the race must go on. Aiden Jackson gets on the podium. Callie Mayer still scoring some points. Well-needed points for the team as we jump over to standings. Driver standings. Aiden Jackson passes Yuki Tsunoda, closing the gap to Callie Mayer by 10 points. Callie Mayer's tied with Oscar Piastri at 86, as they're still in the fight with Leclerc for the 5th spot. George Russell, Lando Norris in a fight as Max Verstappen leads the drivers' standings. As we go on to the constructor standings, we surpass Mercedes by 1 point for the result of this race into P4 as we go into, I believe it's Canada for the next race. As Ferrari, Red Bull, and McLaren are now surpassing 200 points for the season. So it's a three-way battle for the top of the podium for the constructor standings as well. So, very intense race today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had a lot of fun trying to manage those tires. After we passed Lewis Hamilton, we had to basically take care of those tires as much as we could. So we had to brake. Well, we had to let off the gas a little bit. Not really fuel consumption, but we had plenty of fuel. We did that for the tires and it paid off. We got P3 and P7 for Callie Mayer and Aiden Jackson for our team. We'll see you guys in the next one.